Trader, this is the last call of the day. Take a look here at Bitcoin. Take a look here at ETF Ethereum, ETHU. Take a look at gold, silver, crude oil, natural gas. And we'll look at here at OneStream today, OS. At the end of the video, the support and resistance levels are posted for crude and natural gas. This video is very informational and not a recommendation by some stock market ETF. Please like, subscribe. Thanks for watching. Alrighty, here we have Bitcoin daily and weekly chart. Now I can see here, look at here at the MACD, the green is about ready to cross over the red. That shows got to be good momentum to the upside. You can see when it crosses down below there, that's the momentum there to the downside. So let's just see if that can all shake out nicely. Now only sitting at about 51 here. This is looking very, very good. And let's take a look here at the old chart. Okay, so what we have here so far, we have ourselves in that inside day. Your high and low is inside the previous day's high and low. Kind of like a two-week top, but we have green candles. So let's not get too excited about that. Okay, on the downside here, what you're really watching is that 50-day. Where are we sitting at? Oh yeah, 114,200. That's going to be very, very key on a closing basis. And then right here is at 113,790. Now you can see here how it held it both today very, very nicely. And we are closed above here. So we are hopefully close above the 50-day and 100 FNA. Now, if we keep on going lower, you're going to look to the bottom of that candle. That's 113,495. There's your gap. And then we want to look to the top of that candle, 112,355. There's your fill. And then we look top of that candle, 111,555 level. And then we're looking right here at that 110,981 level. Now, the 21-day here is key. Okay, we have to get back above this 21-day. This is going to be very, very critical. We have to get above that 115,484. Now, again, we did pop up yesterday above it. We popped up today above it. But so far, you haven't closed above it. And that's going to be very, very key. Close above that. Then we look to yesterday's high, 116,570. That's going to be your upside resistance. Then we'll come up to the top of that candle. We call that 117,320. We'll come to the top of there, 118,295. And then we just venture in up, 119,145. Okay, then we come down to the bottom. Looking at 124.05 level, we'll come down there at 121.420, and then we'll be looking right top of that candle, 123.27 level. Then always look to the left of the chart here, 123.615. That's going to be very, very strong resistance. Next strong resistance you have there is going to be 125.200, and then we have that big boy up there, 127.240. We cut that. 130, 135, just a matter of time. Got to be a little patient. Now, see how this 8-day is? It came right on down. Now it's curling back up. So, okay, so right now that 8-day is sitting at 110,966. However, you know, when the futures open tonight, it's going to be much higher than that. This is going to be cruising right up, which is really good because then that gives you a nice, good support level if it happens to sell right on down. Okay, so bottom line here, on the downside here, what you really want to watch is you want to watch that 50-day. Very, very key. That 114,202, we want to watch that Hondo here at 113,797. And then we'll always watch that gap in that fail, 113,495, and watch that 112,355. 355. And then that 8-day right there is going to be key at that 110,995 level. So we got to give this a little bit of patience here. But if we can start closing above that 21-day and above yesterday's high, then I think we got a really good shot at retesting that 127,240 level. All right, here we have on the weekly chart, really nice chart. Low, higher low, higher low, higher low, higher high situation, bottom left, up to right. Really not much to say about other than that. It's really looking awesome. Okay, now the 8-day never crossed the 21-day. 114, 194, got to hold that by Friday. And 113,443, there's your 21-day. Now, again, we're looking very, very good here. And if we can crack above all this level, then we got a really good shot at retesting that 127,240 level. But again, by Friday, we want to hold at least that 8-day and that 21-day. If not, we could come down here and actually retest that 50-day very, very easily. Now, look here at the MACD. This is looking very, very good because you only look at 54. The green is below your red, but that can curl up. And once it starts curling up here, it'll take that price up much, much higher. So again, be very, very patient. Today was really good trading, though, in BITX. I'll give you an example, okay? You hit a low of 53.52, and you hit a high at 55.32. So all I've been doing really is just scalping that same ETF back and forth there. I think I scalped it 3 times, and, you know, you can get some really good juice. Plus, I'm long it because we got the dividend coming up here at the end of the month. Okay, let's take a look at Ethereum, ETHU. All right, here we have the old Ethereum ETF. Okay, now I don't really trade Ethereum. I just trade the Bitcoin. You can't trade everything. Always remember that, okay? If you just focus on anywhere from like 3 to 5 things, you'll do much, much better. Okay, like again, NVIDIA, we're heading right towards that 200 mark here. Amazon's ripping up nicely. Meta, my TQQ is up there 2.5%. Microsoft, you're up there 11 points there today. And, even like Netflix is up there at 15. Tesla's having a good move today, and Palantir is up there at 191, headed towards that 200 mark. So you obviously can't trade everything. So if you just limit yourself, you'll be way better off, and consistent money is the key. Okay. So yesterday you can see where we popped right up, but where'd you go? Right into that 200-day. See, that's why you trade the charts. Boom. Now today we made a lower low and a lower high. So let's just see how that shakes out. But today, what you want to do is watch today's high, 124.72, and then you want to watch right there, 127.66. That's that 21-day. You have to get above that, and then we can head right for the top of that candle, 133.31, and then 139.26. That's your target, is your 50 SMA here, okay? Now, on the downside, well, we want to watch today's low, obviously. That's 118.58. There's your gap. Then we have the 100-day at 116.17, and then we have this fill level here at 113.33, and then we have your 113.15. So always look at that gap and that fill, but we have that 100-day and 8-day sitting also right there. But the 8-day, you can see how nice that's curling up, so that should provide some very, very nice support level, okay? Now, here we have the 47. Well, that's not overbought, oversold. The green is looking, try to get over that red, get some momentum going here, and we're at the bottom of the chart. So actually, this is here isn't looking too bad. The key is you got to get and close above that 21-day, just like you do on Bitcoin. You got to get above that before you can hit that next level. Now, weekly chart here by Friday, we want to hold that 21-day, which so far is holding 116.64. We lose it, you got to hold at least that 106.69 level. That's going to be very, very key. But right now, we're looking pretty good. So again, we got a little bit like a ping pong action, and the upside, that's what you're looking for, is that 131.15 level. Okay, so right here, 51, that's not overbought, oversold. The green is bully red because we had that, obviously, that sell-off, but that can curl right back up there very nicely. So realistically, just watch that 8-day. That's going to be very, very key. And this 21 SMA here sitting at that, where are we sitting at? You're sitting at, right at that 127.44 level. Okay, so what did I do here? Okay, there we go. There we go. All right, so again, that 8-day, very, very critical, and that 21-day, very, very critical, and that 50-day on a closing basis by Friday. All right, let's take a look here now at gold and silver. All right, here we had gold, here we have silver, just like what I explained here this morning. Bear flag situation, and it's playing out very, very nicely. I know they don't always play out, but when you see the big pull and then you see it kind of rallying up here, okay, like that, it's trying to go higher and it doesn't, and then we have that big red candle and you lose that bottom. Boom, that tells you that's going to go lower situation. Now, I only trade this from the long side, and as long as we're above that 8-day, then I always say it's sideways up action, but now we're below that 8-day, so this is not good. So obviously on the upside, what we're watching is yesterday's low, okay, 39.85. We're looking at today's high, looking at 40.34, but this is the big boy right here, is at 40.78. There's your 21-day, and then we want to watch that 41.40 level, okay? Now, again, these will not be, that 8-day will not be at 41.41 level tonight when the futures open. That will be lower here. So that's going to provide very, very strong resistance, because now you got that 21-day and you have that 8-day. Now, on the downside here, we're watching today's low. Look at 39.01. Your next really big target is right here. It's going to be that 38.12 level. That's your 50 SMA, and then we'll see if it can hold. Now, again, if it comes down here and holds that 50-day, that could be a really nice good scalp for the GLD to take this higher and take it maybe back up to that 21 SMA. Now, nosebleed area, eventually it's going to come off, and that's exactly what it did. The green crossed over your red. It shows momentum to the downside, but always watch these chart patterns. Anything that gives you an edge when you see that bear flag situation, unless you're going to short it, get the hell out if you are long. All right, silver, same thing. We had a bear flag here. Boom. Okay, another bear flag, and boom. Now you can see here we came all the way down, but we're holding that level right there, that 45.71 level, okay, which is basically, I've been pointing out at the bottom of that candle. See that? 45.71. What did we hit there today? We hit 45.51, came a little bit below, but now you can see where we're back up there nicely. Okay, so I never even made it to that 50-day so far. Okay, so on the downside, what you're really watching is yesterday's low. Okay, 46.05, then you're watching that 45.71, and then we're watching that 50-day at 44.70 level. Now, we have a bottoming candle here, but that doesn't always play out, so we got to always watch it. Okay, so upside, you're watching 47.37, and we'll come to the bottom of that candle there at 47.64, and then we're watching realistically that 21-day at 48.81, and that 8-day now crossed that at 48.66. So this is, as this moves up, this is going to be very, very strong resistance, because now you're below that 8-day, and that 8-day rolled over and crossed over 21-day. So always pay attention to that. But this right here, you can see is just a perfect bear flag situation. Right here, bear flag situation. Now they all don't always have to play out 3-4, notches at, days at a time. They can play out like here, where we had the 2 days going to the 3rd day, and then boom, all the way on down. There she came. Okay. Now again, if you want to learn about candlesticks or chart pattern, just go on my playlist. I got them sitting there right there for you. Same way with seasonality charts. Now we're sitting here at 48. That's not overbought, oversold, and the green is below your red. So what I'll be watching here is I'm going to be watching the retest of that 45.71 level. Okay, if it comes down and holds it, this could be a nice scalp in the SLV to take it back up to that 8-day. But remember, when the futures open, this 8-day is going to cross over that 21-day, and that's going to bring that down quite a bit here, just like this one on this 8-day. That could probably touch that 21-day very, very easily on tomorrow's charts. All right, let's take a look here now at crude oil. All righty, here we have crude oil. Nice double top situation. Okay, boom, boom, and then down she goes. Now, when you look at this chart, see we have a high, lower high, and then a lower high situation. So we got a whole lot of nothing here. Plus, we had that double top situation. Now, we ran up a little bit here. Okay, we ran up a little bit, but really all that was because T-Man put sanctions on Russia under 2 big oil companies. And what that is, that's a quarter of Russia's income. Okay, so always remember that. Okay, but again, you can see where it didn't last. The 50-day went into the price went into the 50-day, couldn't hold it. Popped up a little bit yesterday, couldn't hold it, topping tail, and then look what we got going here. Okay, so now here we're just right below that 21-day at 60.07. Your next level of support is 59.48. Now remember, the EI report will be out today at 4:30, and we'll see if that makes any kind of a move. Now again, we start losing that 59.48 level there. Okay, then what we'll do is we'll come over here to the top of that candle. You're looking at 58.08. We'll come to the bottom there. 57.34. We have 56.35, and then we have that 55.96 level. Now again, we lose that 55.96. Boom, there's your target right there at 55.12. We lose this, it's 53, 50, 47, and you could venture all the way down to 43 very, very easily. But again, I always say where it could possibly go, but again, let's just see if it actually does get. That does go. Now, I'm long the SCO, okay, because of this topping tail situation. So I jumped in the SEO, and then basically all I've been doing is just scalping the UCO kind of situation. Now, this was really good, a scenario here for scalping the UCO all the way into that 50-day. But once it stopped, that's it for me. Okay, boom, I'm out of the trade, and now we did a little short ski, and now we're coming on down. So what I'm watching here is this 21-day, and I'm watching that key 8-day. Now again, if this happens to say rally up, we looked at the bottom of that candle, 60.67. We looked at the bottom of that candle, 61.21. But realistically, that 62.09, that's going to be key. That's your 50-day. Get above that, 62.59. Then we come on top of that candle at 62.92, and we'll look at this 63.26, and then we have 64.42 to your 100-day, 65, your 200-day, and then we have your retest there at 66.42. Now, this is nowhere near overbought or oversold. The green is still over your red, but again, this could fade out here very, very quick. I just think oil is going to go lower. So when we were way up here in these areas here, I said oil is going to go down in the 50s here by the end of the year, and obviously it came a little bit quicker than what I thought it was going to be. But again, this time of the year, it's just not, in play for oil. So if you look at a seasonality chart, really you want to be short till about the first week of December. Then you go long until about the first couple of days of December. Then you got a flat ski going to February. That's when you buy it right there. Okay, when nobody wants it, but then you're looking at, hey, this is going into summer driving season. Okay, that's what I'm looking for, and it usually will rally up. Same way with gasoline, and same way with the big oil company XLE. Okay, all right, let's take a look here now at natural gas. All right, here we have natural gas. Now, for me, there was no trade for me in natural gas today. You could have done a little short ski, but again, you have double top situations, topping tail with a lower high. That's never good. Okay, so now we came right on down. You couldn't have no rally now. This was a really nice good rally and rallied up here. This was another nice good rally because it was way down, looked like it was going lower. That was a nice good rally. We went right into that 200-day, but this big red candle here, this didn't show me nothing here today. So upside, you're really watching that 3.33 level. We'll come to the bottom of that candle, 3.38, and then 3.45. That is your 200-day. Get above that, we got right here, you got 350. we have 355, and then we have your retest 358 level. Then obviously we just looked at the left chart, 362. We come up here at 4 and even at 419. But again, you got to get way above here. You're still below that 200-day. That's never good. Until you get above that 200-day and you close above 358, we're not really worried about what this is. Okay. Now here on the downside, you got to hold that 21-day, 3.28. We lose that, you got to come right to the 100-day at 3.21. We lose that, this is going to be your target right here. This is the gap, 3.13. Then we have 309 is your 50-day, and then we have the fill right there at 3.02. Okay, that's just very, very simple. But right now, for me, there just wasn't anything there that was worth my time today. Okay, so right here, RSI, you're sitting at 52, and then we have the sideways action kind of situation. So right now, I'm just a little bit leery about shorting. Okay, especially in this time frame. I'm just don't really want to do that today. But again, when you look at the overall chart, you got low, higher low situation. So we do have a bottom left, upper right kind of situation here. So it's not looking over that bad. So a lot of times what you want to do is just go and step back on your computer and just take a good look at what we got going. Even though you had to say, okay, we got a double top. Yeah, we got a double top, big deal. Okay, that doesn't mean it's going to go right down to nothing again, because we have that nice, good scenario of higher low situation here. So right now we're just holding all this kind of, we're looking at that 8 to 21-day and that 100-day. Okay, that's what you're looking at. Okay, we lose that, we have a 50-day, and we have the gap fill for your targets. Okay, but right now we just have this just a sideways consolidation. But again, for me, I have to get above that 200-day, that 245, and then that 258. You get above that, then we have a nice, good long trade, because we have all these nice targets here going all the way up here to that, almost to that 5 mark. All right, let's take a look here at OneStream, OS. All right, here we have OneStreet. Now, my buddy here in the chat room, he likes trading this, and sometimes you got to talk a guy off the ledge here. You can't get too excited, okay? So a lot of times what we did is we had this big sell-off here. We had consolidation, and it came down to 1651, okay? So again, when you see that 1651, you say, oh, yeah, this could go lower. Yes, but always look to the left of the chart here, okay? So what do you see right there? Okay, so you have 1669. You came 1659, 1651. You got a double bottom. Okay, so again, you don't want to go there and sell out. You always want to see if that double bottom holds. If that double bottom holds, then the key is then you can take it back to the upside. And look how nice this is happening here. Okay, so let's look at this 8-day. See how this 8-day now is curling up, and you want to close over that. It crossed basically over this 21-day. Okay, now tomorrow, this will keep right on moving, and that's going to provide very, very nice, good support. So what we had a nice green candle, went up into the 8-day, and then we jumped above it. Then we went to the 21-day, then we jumped above it. Now we jumped above that 50-day. Look how nice this is. Okay, so right now, we had this descending chart. Okay, so we have a high, lower high, lower high, lower high, but now look at here. Okay, we don't have that. Now we broke that trend line, and now we're going back up again. Okay, so on the downside here, just watch that 50-day. That's going to be very, very key support. That's at 1901. Okay, then watch that 1806. There's your 21-day, and then we have your 8-day at 1806. So right there, the 50-day is key. As long as it's above that, we got a good shot at going higher. Okay, now on the downside, I say just watch that 21-day and that 8-day. But you can see here now we're rounding right back up. And look at here. Okay, so what we have is we have nice, good RSI. You're only sitting at 59. Okay, never got to an oversold condition. Okay, never got to an oversold condition. Okay, so that's what we're looking at. Okay, another thing is look at this positive divergence. See how low we hit it here? Okay, now we hit it high. Okay, hey, look at here, high, and we hit it low, just the opposite. So you got positive divergence here on the RSI. So always watch for that, but always, always, always look in the back of the charts, and you see what you got. See? Nice double bottom situation, okay? Double bottoms don't have to be taken right away, okay? They can go over a long period of time. That's the key. We'll always watch that double bottom. Now you can see how nice we're rallying up. So that 8-day will be crossing that 21-day. That's to provide very, very nice, good support. So obviously here, just watch that 50-day on the downside. Now upside, we got high today. We made a 1988 level, okay? So just look right to the left of the chart here. What do you have on this candle here? You got a 1990. So he came in within 2 cents. I mean, 2 freaking cents. Nice. Okay. Now, your next level, if it keeps on running, just bring this price channel right across here. And what do we have? Okay. 2052. Right? Nice. Then we just bring this price channel right across here. What do we got? You got 21.14. Okay. Then we bring that price channel right across. And what do you got? Okay. 21.60. Then we're going to start running into that 100-day at 22.12. And then right above it, we have that 200-day at 23.41. Okay. So this has a good shot. Especially with this here, RSI is nowhere near, overbought condition. And this is here is at the bottom. You got a good shot at hitting that 100-day and that 200-day. Okay. But you have to hold that 50-day on a closing basis. That's going to be key. If that's lost, then we look for that 8-day and that 21-day. That's the catch-all. So if it comes all the way down, that could be also a buying opportunity to take it up higher. As long as it holds that key, that 8-day and 21-day, you're looking very, very good. And it'd be real nice if it hold that 50-day because we have a lot of good, nice upside targets. So I'll just bring these price channels. All these blue lines are just price channels. All they are is tops and bottoms of candles. Okay. Now you can use Bollinger Bands or clouds. They're just not as accurate as this because there's no bullshit in this. It's bottom of candles. Okay. It's tops of candles. That's it. That's all it is. But what I like about it is when something sells off, okay, you leave that pattern all the way down. But as it starts rolling, now you have all your resistant levels. All you got to do is just bring them right across. That is going to be your resistant levels. Okay. And then you always use these simple moving averages. 8, 21-day, 50-day, 100-day, 200-day. They work fantastic. Okay. So that's where we're looking. So right now, this is looking good. Just watch that 50-day. Okay. If it sells off, watch that 8-day and that 21-day. Okay. Now, you don't want to lose this on a closing basis. These two right here, because if you do, then you got a good shot at retesting that 1651. But right now, we jumped the gap above it. It looks like it wants to go a little bit higher. Probably because the earnings will probably be coming out here pretty soon, and that's probably the reason why. So always look at the back earnings. What do we have? What did the stock do after earnings? Okay, we had like a sideways action. What did the stock do after earnings? Fell off, and then sideways consolidation. So it's up to you on how you want to trade it, but always look at the earnings situation to see what happens because the past a lot of times can predict the future. All right, that's what I got for you. I'll be back here tomorrow morning. We'll do it all over again. Trade what's in front of you, not what you want.